Homes and home inspections go together like peas and carrots, like Jenny and Forrest Gump. Quick aside, if you have not seen Forrest Gump, pause this video now, go back and watch it and come back.
Jenny.
Wait, Jenny. Jenny.
Jenny.
Jenny!
Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. So, today's video, all about what is and is not covered in home inspections. As always, I'm Brad Reynolds, hashtag Think Nashville, Think Brad, back with our weekly video. This is a common question I get from so many clients. Brad, why in our inspection report was this looked at but not this? Great question. I can't always answer it, but my goal today with this video is to make you aware. Now, before we get into it, every time you have a home inspection, the first few pages of it, the disclaimer, tells why the inspector does and does not do certain things. Every state is different, and in Tennessee, home inspectors follow the Tennessee Standards of Practice for Home Inspectors. So let's jump into what they do and what they don't do, starting with what they do not look at typically first. First, components that are outside the standard scope. Inspectors do not look at things like wells, septic systems, water quality, pools, spas, irrigation systems, all of those things, a lot of detached buildings, garages, things that are typically not covered unless specified in the contract. Secondly, they're not going to look at specialized systems to include water filtration systems, security systems, alarms, in-house vacs, or other items that are very unique to your home. Number 3, environmental or hazardous conditions. So inspectors do not do radon, they don't do mold, they don't do termites, so have a separate inspection for that. They are allowed to kind of note these things, like great example on mold. They can kind of say, we think we might see mold, but you gotta follow up with a specialized person to check this out. Number 4, non-visible or inaccessible areas. They're not gonna go in a crawl space that looks like it's under a house that's falling down. They're not gonna move insulation, they're not gonna move furniture, they're not gonna move things out of the way to see things. People wish they would, but they do not. Safety comes first on the home and for the home inspector as well. So the 5th thing inspectors don't really look at is cosmetic or code compliance. They are not code enforcement people. People ask all the time, Brad, shouldn't the house be done to codes? Not necessarily. They have their own checklist. There's a lot of overlap with codes, but they are not codes enforcers. They're also not going to notify you of very minor things like paint that's chipping or the carpet or things going on with landscaping. Again, they focus on big ticket items, not small aesthetic ones. Okay, so we've gone through the things, broadly speaking, that they do not inspect. Now we're going to talk about the things that they actually do inspect. Keep in mind, this is a very simplified, dumbed down version for a quick, short video on it. So here's some of the big things they do inspect. The roof, the structure, the foundation. They're looking at HVAC, electrical. They're looking at plumbing. They're looking at the exterior walls, windows, doors, all of the big ticket things. That's what they're here to do. That's where they provide value. That's where they have standards of practice, SOPs as it was, to tell you what needs replacing and what doesn't. And last but not least, you have plenty of options for add-ons. You could do a radon test. Radon happens a lot more frequently in Middle Tennessee, although probably only about 10% of my clients take advantage of it. And of those that get the test, very rarely does it need to be actually treated. You can also, and you must do a termite/pest control inspection. When you got a loan involved, a lender is going to require a clean/termite letter. You use those terms interchangeably. It's not uncommon for a house to have active or prior signs of infestation. Not a big deal. You get it treated, you get that clean letter, you send it to the lender, all is good to go. It's not uncommon at all. Termites love hot, humid places. That's what the South is 8 months out of the year. You can also get a pool looked at. You can have a structural engineer come out and look at the house. There's a lot of add-ons you could do. Keep in mind, this will be jacking up your price. Now, without these add-ons, cost-wise, you're looking around $500 to $700. On a single family home, probably the upper limit. On a condo and a high-rise building, probably the lower limit. Once you add on some of these add-ons, it could take you up to well above $1,000. For a structural engineer, that's a whole separate cost, $500 to $1,000 easy. So let's bring all this back together. Home inspections are one of the most important parts of the home buying process. When you go to buy a home, single family home, even if it's new construction, you better do one. Even if you're buying a condo where the scale and scope of work is limited, you better do one. You do it, you pay for it, you get it back, and then this is your chance to ask questions and make a request for repairs as part of a repair request proposal. I'm a big guy who loves credits. Take money off the price or closing cost. You could ask the seller to do repairs, but most likely they're gonna choose someone you've never heard of. You're gonna close, you're gonna get in there and you're gonna go, holy hell, they did not do it the way they should have at all. So take the money off the price, negotiate that, and then once you close, decide, do I wanna do it? Also, for handymen, think about small local handymen. If you send them a list of a couple things that are maybe $500 total, are they gonna put you to the front of the line? Absolutely not. You're gonna wait. And what happens with home inspections? You only have 7 to 10 days in total to knock all this out. So they're gonna be booked out, they're gonna put you to the end of the line, or if they do it sooner, they're going to gouge you. So take the money off the price. Now, my favorite home inspectors color code their home inspection. They tell you what needs to be done now, what can wait, and what's things just to monitor in the coming years. The average person, if they're lucky, will buy and sell 2, 3, 4 times in their entire lifetime. And most people are not in real estate. They're not general contractors, architects, engineers. So their information and knowledge of homes is pretty limited. All that to be said, that's why I like the color coding. So as we wrap up, as always, think Nashville, think Brad. If you want the best agent, you found it here. I'm never too busy. I'm always available. Reach out, because remember, when you are buying a home, put the best team around you, best lender, best title company, best appraiser, best inspector, best everything, and oh yeah, what I think is one of the best agents, me. Hit that subscribe button, because I got to get my numbers up, and I would love to hear from you. See you soon.